If you heard that we were a basketball show, then you heard right. Oh, and special guest, sports aficionado Martin Weiss is in tonight's Hot Seat Sports Weekly. Up next.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live, Sports Weekly.
I don't know this song. I don't know this song.
I did.
I don't know this song either.
Yeah?
No.
It's dope.
Who is it?
This is Unforgettable by
French
Montana. I love this song so much.
Okay.
Has it made it to the Spotify playlist yet? Because
Right.
if not, there's no way I would have seen it.
I don't know.
I don't know it.
I heard it somehow.
Do you guys out there know this song? Because obviously Martin and I are out of the loop. We're not young and fun like J-Rod and well, I'm not young. Maybe you are young. I'm not.
You're
Sports
young,
Weekly.
girl.
And I'm a lot of fun. Every Thursday.
You're so
That's right.
Thursday night, Sports Weekly, 7 o'clock. You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, on Insta Story, Erica Renee D.
I'm Josh Rodriguez. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Rodriguez_. Hit me up because I love to debate. Martin, where can they find you?
I'm Martin Weiss. You can find me at _Martin Weiss because the real Martin Weiss on Twitter has 8 followers and an egg Abby. I'm the one with the picture.
Right. Not the
I'm
molester.
Raina. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, Raina_LA.
Oh, yes.
You didn't know about that?
I do.
Okay.
That and the other Martin Weiss, when you Google it, was a Nazi officer. So.
Oh my God.
So basically, I have to get my name up for all the other Martin Weisses out there. Get the search. Basically, all of us are trying to Google ourselves.
Maybe you'll add like your middle name because like when I used to go to auditions,
Or your
people will
middle
be like
initial,
Erica
yeah.
Davis. So like I like added my middle name to my name because like there are a few Erica Davises on IMDb and there are a few Erica Davises.
See, but the thing is, sex offender Martin Weiss is Martin D. Weiss. I'm Martin G. Weiss. So I'm just, it's tough all around.
God.
That's what I was telling you. I was like, yo, who we got on this show? Because it's kind of low.
I was like, I promise you, that's not him.
That's pretty funny. As always, follow all things Black Hollywood Live on blackhollywoodlive.com. Follow us on Twitter at BHL Online. Follow us on, oh, you don't have it right now?
I got it.
Follow us on Instagram. One day we will update that account at BHL Sports Weekly. You want to give Martin a quick intro? I mean, he's a sports guy. You're from Detroit, right?
Yeah, so basically for the last 3 years before I moved out here, I was on the radio at 97.1 The Ticket in Detroit and producing the 10 o'clock news for Rob Parker. Barbershop Sports with Rob Parker in Detroit.
All radio or television as well?
It was, radio, but in the morning, TV at night. So
Nice. Okay.
What are your teams?
I don't really only University of Michigan.
Okay, so everything else you just kind of.
I just root for a good game.
So you're a college football fan?
The college, University of Michigan, anything.
Okay.
I'll watch Michigan play water polo.
Cute. Okay. Are you from Michigan originally?
I'm from New Orleans.
Oh.
So if I had a team that I'd be a fan, like a pro team, it would be the Saints.
Okay.
I grew up watching the Saints, had season tickets as a kid.
Oh, that's cool.
Like my punishment if I didn't get good grades was I couldn't go to the game on Sunday, so I was on the honor roll. But but yeah, that'd be my pro team.
Are you Creole?
Yes.
Oh, Charlie's Creole too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Charlie's not here.
Charlie's not here.
Shout out to Charlie.
Charlie's more Creole than you though.
Well, it's not a race.
Even
Even though he's known as our fans as a token white guy.
we call him a token white guy, but he's Creole, but he's white. Not that it matters. Hey, chat room, is the chat room lit
Yes,
already?
we got Mr. Ragman 26 and we got Demo.
Hey, Demo.
up in
Hey,
here.
Mr. Eggman.
What's
up? So NBA playoffs round 2.
Yes.
I mean, right now the Wizards were putting it to. Well, they're playing
Boston.
the Celtics. Yeah.
Boston.
What's the final score? I don't know, but whenever I
They were
looked
still in the
last.
fourth quarter. They were down 28 points last time I checked.
So the question was, do the Wizards first of all have a chance at all against the Celtics after tonight's game? I was getting ready to bury them, but
I'm on record before this game saying absolutely. I actually think they are still going to win this series. I still have the Wizards to win this series. I like their offensive. I just like their starting five better. I feel like when you have John Wall, Bradley Beal, who hasn't really played too well, Gortat, anyone in the starting five can put up points.
you like the Wizards starting five better than
And
Celtics?
Isaiah Thomas has been playing out of his mind. They blew game one. They blew game one, so they could easily be up 2-1 right now. So
Dang.
I like the Wizards. I think they're a better team. What do you think, Martin?
I mean, I'd say the Wizards probably have better talent, but I'd
Yeah.
say Boston's a better team. And you look at game one, Boston just dominated them physically.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you look at the Wizards. As much as I'd love to see John Wall like really ascend to that top 5 player. Like where was he in the fourth quarter?
And overtime too.
And overtime, fourth quarter just disappeared. and Bradley Beal can't score to save his life, and Markieff Morris is hurt.
Yeah, he's
So
hurt.
I got to go with Boston on that one. I think Boston's going to take that one.
Okay.
Yeah, Boston was my pick when this series came out. I want them to win. I think they are a better team.
What do you think, Erica?
I mean, I really didn't give the Wizards a fighting chance. So
Really?
I really didn't. So to see that they were up 20 points, whatever it was at the half, was it like 40 to
Yeah,
65?
they were kicking
I was
ass.
really surprised. So I didn't do on-air picks for this. So I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't say anything because I really thought the Celtics would sweep this series.
Well, the Celtics shot out of their mind from three-point range in Game 1. That's not what they usually do. It's an aberration. They had 13 threes in Game 2. It's really not what they do.
It's not. And I think like from a non-basketball standpoint, like from a non-statistical standpoint, I think the morale is up for the Celtics with Isaiah being the hero and having gone to his true, like okay, not anymore, but having lost his tooth and then having gone to his sister's funeral, right?
That was crazy.
Like he is becoming the heart and soul of the storyline of the Celtics ascending or advancing rather to the next round, and so I wasn't even thinking about the Wizards.
I really think there's something to that because
Yeah.
when you look at the playoffs just thus far, you had all the MVP candidates have obviously played. And you look in the fourth quarter, the only one who's consistently elevated his game has been Isaiah Thomas,
Yeah.
the smallest player in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Like he just plays like he's 6'6" in the fourth quarter, just draining threes and everything. He can't. I won't say he's unstoppable, but especially when you're playing a team like Washington, as Bradley Beal can't score right now.
Right.
It doesn't matter if Isaiah Thomas can't guard anybody because he doesn't have to.
That's true.
Yeah,
and then I
that's
think
true.
there's also another non-basketball factor. I mean, he's been mentored by Kobe. I mean, he talks about how Kobe has.
The Kobe system? The Kobe system is back.
Are you a Kobe fan?
No.
I'm a Kobe fan. I'm
always
a
Kobe
huge
fan.
Kobe fan. So why
Well, we'll have to
are you
switch
sitting right
seats.
next to me?
Right.
Well, my thing is with Boston, I mean, Al Horford has been a little bit of a disappointment.
True. Oh my God.
I was
A little
thinking-
bit?
Yeah. I mean,
All 4 rebounds?
Yeah.
That's so
I was thinking
sad.
before the series started, he would need to step up, be the second best player in Boston. You know what I'm saying? Jay Crowder had 24 points in Game 1. I don't think he's going to have that for the rest of the series. So Isaiah Thomas doesn't really have the supporting
Doesn't have
cast
any help.
like John
No.
Wall has. Even though Bradley Beal's not scoring the basketball right now, I still feel like John Wall still has a better supporting cast.
And the thing is, that's where Boston's going to get dominated, especially when they go into the next round and playing Cleveland.
Oh, God,
Tristan
yeah.
Thompson and LeBron is going to eat Al Horford alive
yeah.
in the paint.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the next round is going to be a breeze for the Cavs and maybe not for the Warriors. We'll get to that in a second. What's the final score and what's the chat room saying about this game?
So chat room, they're just still saying hi.
Hey, chat room.
But right now it's 99-75. Wizards 7. Oh no, okay, 101 to
Dang.
95.
Oh.
101 to 75. Sorry,
There you go,
736.
Oh,
Got to go.
okay. Well, I
Sorry.
mean, again, I guess this is not fair because I didn't make predictions before the series started, but I'm going to still say Celtics in 6 for this one.
I'm sticking with Wizards in 6. I think they win today.
Oh.
I think they win Game 4, and I think they win Game 5 in Boston.
You got a prediction, Martin?
Yeah,
Martin?
I'll go Boston in 6 because I don't think Washington's going to win a game in
I
Boston.
don't think so.
Yeah,
either.
I'm gonna go with
Another
both
thing
of you
too,
guys.
Boston's one of those cities like it looks crazy in there.
We already know what they do at Fenway Park.
Well, not only that, I'm just saying,
So-
I get that for sure. That's a problem. But when the fans, just when Isaiah Thomas is hitting 3 after 3 and getting, it looks like a madhouse
Yeah.
in there.
Because they're crazy drunk people. That's what. Hey, what up, Boston? Okay, what about Raptors, Cavs? Was Laurie out?
series is over.
He's out. Oh yeah, I mean,
over. He's hurt.
He's hurt. Is he
Yeah.
out? He's hurt, but is he out?
It doesn't matter.
I mean, I just want to know.
This is the ultimate sim to end on my plan. You can just skip this part.
Yeah.
Okay.
This doesn't matter.
Okay. Oh, Raptors. Every year they do
They're
this.
not good. I don't like.
They're
like
not
them.
good, Josh. I mean,
They're talented. I don't think Dwayne Casey's a good coach. I don't like the way they move the ball on offense. They're more like mid-range jump shots, off the dribble, things like that. They
Yeah.
don't really get easy shots. I mean, they're talented. I just don't like the way they play the game.
I was fully hoping for Milwaukee to upset
Yeah.
them
I-
because I wanted to see
predicted
this
the
Milwaukee-Cleveland matchup.
me too. I said Milwaukee in 6, and you predicted Raptors though.
Yeah, I had Raptors in 7.
But just can we talk about DeMar DeRozan and how just eventually like he just takes a game? He's talking about plays 40 minutes and takes a
Right.
game off.
Right.
He had one in the Buck series too.
I'm just saying, like he had his one last game. I just don't. He doesn't get not nearly enough criticism for that.
No. Well, no one on the Raptors really gets criticism. Maybe Lowry a little bit, but no one really even talks about the Raptors to begin with.
I guess you have to care first to criticize.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
The Spurs bounced back last night after that horrific
Yo,
game.
that game was
that game one or the game one loss.
Game 1 loss was awful.
It was despicable.
Houston couldn't miss.
They couldn't, which is why I predicted
Yeah, well,
Rockets and
it's
7.
1-1.
So you
It's
picked
still-
Rockets.
it's-
Well, I picked Rockets in this series, but then after game 1, I went ahead and looked to the next series, and I was like, Rockets and 7 over the
No,
Warriors.
it's far from over. It's far from over. The series is far from over.
Well,
it's over
Parker
now,
got
yeah.
hurt, so that's
Parker got hurt, but you can insert Patty Mills, who's been doing okay, and Parker's not what he used to be anyway.
And you know, the Spurs 23-6 without Parker this year.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to hurt as much as people think it does.
But 23-6 regular season. Well, I don't know if one of the sixes or one of the.
No, they
23
were regular season.
So regular season. 23-6 regular season without Parker. Again, playoff basketball is different. I mean, like, Tony Parker brings a veteranship to playoff basketball that a Patty Mills doesn't have. I mean, of course,
No,
Patty
he
Mills-
does. Patty has it.
I mean, he has.
Oh,
He doesn't,
I mean,
he
but
doesn't,
hold
he
on
doesn't, he doesn't
now.
have. He doesn't have 16 years in the game.
I
Playoff
get that,
Parker
but
is a thing on Twitter.
no.
Hashtag Playoff Parker is a thing
I
for
get
a
it.
Well, it's not-
reason.
it's not like
So
Patty Mills doesn't have playoff experience. He has playoff experience.
But
It's Patty Mills' replacement, Murray, who's a rookie. Who
before
now
Tony
he has to
Parker
step up.
snapped his leg in half last night, he wasn't doing so bad. Oh, it was so bad. It was so
It was
sad.
so
That was
sad.
so sad. He just, it broke my heart. So what is the outlook for this series now for Spurs Rockets?
I still have Houston in 6. I took Houston in 6 from the beginning. I just think if they shoot well, which they did in Game 1, I think they're pretty much going to take the series. And LaMarcus Aldridge is just MIA.
Where did he go?
you know, somebody brought up an interesting point today. He wanted out of Portland, LaMarcus Aldridge did, because Damian Lillard started taking the shine from him.
Right.
And when he came to San Antonio, he was the man until like midway through that Memphis
Right,
series
yeah.
when Kawhi took over.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do well when he's not the number one gun.
Which is weird. I mean, he can fit into any type of
yeah.
system. He can hit a jump shot. He can post up. He can do
He's
a
a-
lot of different
yeah,
things. So
he's
his
very
game is
versatile.
flexible. It just doesn't make sense to me.
But
They need him to be the number 2 if they're going to beat Houston. That's how I feel.
Kawhi.
I'll be
Rockets,
honest. I had this as a gentleman sweep for Houston in the first anyway.
So
Okay.
5.
Like completely healthy San Antonio. I think after a while, you hate to say it because he keeps proving you wrong, but eventually
Who
the age is
keeps
going
proving
to
you wrong?
Popovich.
Oh,
the
yeah.
age is going to catch up to
Oh,
you.
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
it has
Yeah.
to,
Right.
Absolutely.
and that's why you tear your quad on a runner. You know, like,
Do you think Parker's
non-contact,
done?
yeah.
Parker's done sometime soon. Like, how many more seasons do you think
Parker's
he can get out of
done.
him?
I don't know. Him and Manu are getting there.
Are getting there. They're there.
know.
They're past there.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I know they put up 121 last game, but if you just look at the roster, like outside of Kawhi, you have Aldridge who's not
Powell.
doing anything. Now Powell's not going to give you consistent points. He had 6 last game. But Danny Green,
Danny
Patty
Green.
Mills,
Danny Green was
Manu,
so
David
awful.
Lee.
It was
Like,
so
where are these points going to
bad.
come from?
where the points need to come from is from LaMarcus Aldridge.
Right,
Right.
but like realistically, he's not-
Against a guy like Ryan Anderson,
Yeah,
who I mean, there you go,
Right.
buddy. There's your chance to be the number one guy.
Right. I say that Tony Parker is done. I mean, first of all, we don't know the extent of his injury. We don't know how long he's going to. I mean, he's obviously out the rest of the
Out,
postseason.
yeah.
But like how long will he need to heal going into October? I guess when the beginning of the season starts. I don't know if that even matters to him. But to me, I think he's 16 years. I mean, what else can he? 5 rings, 4 rings. Does he have 5 or 4?
4.
4.
He
He
didn't
didn't win
get
the
one in
first one.
99.
Okay, he didn't. Okay, so I mean, what else do you have to play for? He's proven his point. He's a Hall of Famer. You're 36. You don't have your legs, knees, quads, tendons, whatever you want to say. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't have anything else to prove. I mean, there's so many up and coming PGs his size, well, not his size, his age and younger. I mean, I think it's time to wrap it up. I don't see what he would come back for.
Mano 2.
Oh,
Well, it depends. If they make, do a sign and trade for Chris Paul, he may not have a place.
He might even be able to
He may not
sign.
have a place to work.
okay. So we're gonna talk about that later. But I do want to say I'm a Clipper fan.
I'm sorry for that.
What? Well, you don't have a basketball team, so I can't even hate on you right now. But with the new CBA, it doesn't really make sense. We'll talk about that later.
All
Okay.
right, cool.
Okay. Whatever. I'm gonna say Rockets in 6 though for this.
Yeah, I
one.
still got Rockets in 6.
Rockets.
Jazz Warriors. Anything to discuss there?
No, it's a wrap.
No.
Done.
Yeah, it's another
George Hill's out
sim to end.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good try. Good run.
Chat room. Y'all have anything to say
they
about
said,
round 2? Round 2 chat room.
Raptors have no chance. Case closed. All Portoni winning this.
Rockets.
Rockets.
That's a rocket emoji.
Oh, Rocket emoji winning this
I
series.
don't know if you're familiar.
I was like, what is that? Okay, yeah, Rockets winning the series. Thanks,
I
Tina.
added something to the lead. Lonzo Ball has a new show.
Yay!
You don't have pictures for this, Voice of God.
You don't need
No,
pictures for this.
you don't. But
But,
did you guys?
but Voice of God, no pictures. That's okay. We're going to talk about this for one quick second. Lonzo Ball has a new shoe. The main shoe, the signature shoe, costs $495. It's the Zo 2. Then the limited edition of that shoe costs $995. $250, and the sandal/slide of that shoe costs $220, and this is all under the Big Baller brand.
They better come with 15 points.
Yeah.
They better come with like
courtside
a
seats.
crazy verse.
saying,
Like, if you wear this, you.
Yeah.
Like if I wear these shoes, I need 15 points and 5 rebounds before the tip.
Before the tip.
I better be fast as hell too.
Right.
Like, come on.
So Twitter, of course, and social media has been ripping on the Ball family the entire day. Thoughts on the Baller brand and the shoe and Lonzo and LeVar?
It's a ridiculous price. What else
Ridiculous
can you say
price,
about
ridiculous
it?
everything. What the
But supposedly there's like a marketing scheme behind it where you, I don't know if you read an article about it, but you price it really high and then you bring it down. I don't know what the scheme
But
is.
they were. I read something that said they were trying to come in above the Jordans, but below the Pradas.
But below the
Yeah.
Pradas and below the Gucci's.
And I'm like, well, who's paying more than above Jordans for shoes for
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball?
Nobody.
I love the idea of Big Baller brand.
Yeah.
To me, it's kind of like music where you can distribute independently as
Right.
opposed to going through a record label.
Yeah.
I love the concept of Big Baller brand, but I think you completely miss with this price point. Because you got to sell these to kids. Like
Right.
I'm not buying anybody's shoe unless they're Jordans.
Right.
You know, like these kids, like third graders, are gonna buy these.
Well, they're not. 'cause
Well,
they cost
third
too
grade's
much.
parents are gonna be
Yeah.
buying
And
these. So you
they're
got to make
definitely
them
not.
something that those kids can afford.
Right. And then
Right.
the $220 slippers.
They get $220 like fake
That's
Adidas slippers.
crazy.
Yeah.
LeVar it's on Twitter now, by the way, guys.
That was
and-
immediate follow.
Yeah, and he was like, if you can't afford the Zo2s,
Right.
you are not a big baller.
He said that?
Yes, he said
Okay, let
that.
me say this. Because
Yeah.
on the, first of all, the promo video is very poorly produced. I'm sorry. It was produced by Slam. Shout out to Slam, but that shit was very poorly
didn't
produced.
see it.
It is awful. And I mean, it's probably a lot because Lonzo speaks throughout the entire video, and he doesn't have. He's not media savvy. He's a kid, you know. He's a kid, and his voice is very monotone. Blah blah blah. But you know, when you're selling a $400-$500 shoe, you need to have voice inflections. You need to have some strippers in the background. You need to have something.
You see, that's where they lose out, not having the typical distribution platform. And they don't have the Nike guy to come up with the or the Gatorade guy
Right.
rather. Paul George
Yeah.
makes a three, and he's like, "Oh, I'm thirsty." They
Right.
don't have that guy or planning.
It's super pedestrian, but I do want to say this. I do understand that the premise of the Baller brand is that they want to create their own. They want to, you know, they pride themselves on being a family brand, on giving back to, you know, ethnic people, being a black-owned business. I get that.
But then why are you charging $500 for sneakers?
You trying to say black folks can't afford
I'm
$500?
not saying no, but like for instance, like
You need to chill.
Stephon Marbury when he did his, you know what I mean? That was
I know.
he said it was a shoe for the people. He
Right,
charged $50 for
right.
people. You know what I mean? You make stuff affordable.
You
for
do.
people.
And
Shaq did the same thing.
And Shaq did the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, but also at the same time, you have to make it desirable too.
Like, your shoe was like
and
a
you got made
marshmallow.
fun of if you had on Starberries or some Shaqs from Kmart.
What are those?
What are
Exactly. That was
those?
before one of those was even a thing.
But
Right.
$500.
Yeah,
It's-
you couldn't do with that. You would get dragged.
You're basically
We would-
calling it a luxury basketball sneaker,
And it's
which is
not.
such an oxymoron.
And it's
That's exactly what they're calling
yeah,
it.
it's absurd.
I do again want to give, you know, credit to LeVar Ball for wanting to be the Renaissance man in like pushing his son's career forward. But you know, you got to think about like the Matthew Knowleses and like the Joe Jacksons. Like they didn't come into like the industry and try to take over like Arista or Motown like right away in one fell swoop. You got to like play the game. You got to play the game a little bit. And he hasn't played the game at all. His son hasn't played the game on the professional level, and they haven't played the business game at all long enough to come in and try to do what they're doing. So I think they took the wrong approach.
What do you think Lonzo thinks of all this? Do you think he's cool with all this? Because he just kind of sits in the background, doesn't really say
He
much.
doesn't. Yeah, no. I don't know. I think he's just like, all right, Dad, do what you want, whatever.
Yeah,
I think this has been his life. I feel like his whole growing up, his dad's always been that loud dad, you know, on the sideline just talking
Right.
crap, and he's just hoping, all right, that's just my dad. And I feel like he's still having that mentality now.
It's kind of how I feel about it too. He's just
Really?
his dad's always been yelling from the stands. You know, not necessarily yelling at him, but just yelling. He's just a loud, just a loud guy. You know, it's just he's just used to it.
Okay.
Chat room. I know y'all got to say something about LeVar
hate
and Lonzo.
LeVar.
They said $4.95. No strippers in the background. They're laughing. Oh, Erica. Oh, Erica. You can get the buy one pair get 20 pairs free sale next week. Mr. Regman.
Who said that? Demo?
Regman.
Mr. Regman.
God, well, what about the shoe in general? Besides the price, like, do you guys think this is a cool looking shoe?
Me
Like, would
personally,
you ever
I'm not a
hoop in
fan.
them?
Me when I play basketball, I need high tops. If it's not high tops, I don't even look at them.
But I mean, let's be honest.
Personally.
The efficiency of most basketball shoes now for basketball is secondary. It's what does it look like?
I get that.
So,
I get that.
Point.
But I mean, they're not they don't do anything.
They
for me.
look
I don't
like-
think they're ugly.
I'll say this. I didn't feel the immediate need to make jokes
Yes.
about them. So I feel like in today's day, that's
Yeah.
kind of a win.
Yeah.
It is a win, but if I was in the store and even if it was reasonably priced, I would have looked at them and been like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, look
They're
at the
just
last couple
kinda-
shoes Under Armour
yeah.
came out with. Those got dragged.
Yeah,
You
Steph
know?
Curry's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The,
Yeah.
the Granddad threes.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that when I looked at these.
I love his logo. I
The
like
Big
this-
Baller brand, the
no,
three.
the
No,
Zoe.
that is sweet. The
That's
Zoe.
Oh, too. Yeah.
I love that, but these just remind me of just like Kobe's and Under Armour's mixed together. Like just low tops. I personally like hooping in low tops.
Oh,
It's
you
a little
do?
more comfortable. Yeah, I like it. But I don't know. The shoe is not very cute to me, but I love the brand. I love the logo.
Yeah.
Sales logo. That can for sure sell.
Does anything sound more made up by your dad than Big Baller
Big ball.
brand?
I mean, seriously.
That sounds like something your dad texts you like, son, you should go with this.
His tweets are so funny.
And what happens to Lonzo's, I guess, ability to secure a Nike or an Adidas or an Under Armour deal later on down the road? We already know they've already said no to him now. But in 5 years, do you think that these companies will come back to him?
Well, it depends on how good he is.
Okay.
And then it depends on how much he separates from his father. I don't think they want anything to do with his father.
I think it depends on how good he is. Period. Stop. Honestly.
Even if his father's in the
Dude,
picture.
if they
And
end up,
if
if
he's-
they're
if he's a top
selling a
3 point-
significant,
Yeah.
if they're selling a significant chunk of the market of Big Baller, like a significant, if they're moving some type of like, wow, this guy's really moving units, they're gonna come to him.
Cream.
But I just don't
Right.
think that's gonna happen, especially at $500 a shoe.
It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
If it came in at like maybe $90 a shoe,
$90 a shoe.
you know, where you're like
Yeah.
undercutting, you're still up there, but you're undercutting some of the more expensive
Right.
premium shoes.
Right.
Then, but I don't know, at $500 a shoe, I mean, come
Right.
on.
Big deal or not? This
He's
is the
so
part of the
weird.
show where we talk about whether these topics are a big deal or not. It's all you, Twitter, and the sports. You want to take it away?
Oh,
or-
that's right. Twitters are releasing on these new platforms for live television shows. They're going to have a show called Stadium, which is going to broadcast college games, college football games, college basketball games, and have live fan reactions. Derek Jeter's Players Tribune is going to have their own station. They're trying to turn it basically, I guess, into like sort of like YouTube TV type of thing. Do you guys think this could work out, or?
I absolutely do.
do?
I think it's a big deal too because think about how ESPN and other major networks have lost so many subscribers.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the reason they're losing so many subscribers is because we're we are continuing to digest
Yeah.
content everywhere else except for the television. So yeah, I think this is a big deal because I think this is going to force networks and cable television to really up their game or change how they do stuff or
they-
make the soups think outside the box more.
They already started broadcasting Thursday night football games on Twitter.
I was a huge
Yeah.
fan of that, by the way.
That was
Really?
awesome. Yeah, it was
Huge
so
fan.
convenient.
I never
And
saw it.
I rarely watched it on my phone. I watched it on a Twitter app on like a smart TV or on my computer.
Really?
I found I was streaming the games the same way I would normally stream the games, but I was using Twitter as a mechanism to do so.
Why Twitter over your television, like your actual like?
I cut the cord back in 2009.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
back in college.
Nice.
Okay.
Rain a
Like,
big deal.
I mean, I think it's a
deal.
big deal. I mean, whenever I even need any information, I just go to Twitter, and I just think that they're so smart with this. I'm excited. I think it's a huge deal.
And for all you platforms out there looking for a host, we are all available to do that. In addition to doing this, obviously, but
yeah,
we just want to throw ourselves out there.
Yeah, why not, right?
Hey, BuzzFeed, Players Tribune, whoever you
yeah,
are.
BuzzFeed too is part of it.
Right. LeBron, big deal or nah? LeBron. Oh, chat room, big deal or nah about the Twitter and sports?
Chat
Or
room.
do y'all care?
Okay. We got a lot. Hold on. Based on negative reactions, the shoe won't do well at all. Lonzo's scared of his dad. He doesn't have the strength to stand up to him.
Jeez.
Demo coming in strong.
Hey, Demo.
Jordans don't even sell for that much. LeVar is delusional. Remember the Shaqs. Who is buying shoes from someone who has not even been drafted yet?
Thank
Nobody.
you.
And he would probably go the Marbury route. So, yeah, nothing about Twitter yet, but I'm sure it's going to come up.
Big deal or nah? LeBron passes Kareem as number 2 all-time playoff scorer.
Hell yeah, it's a big
That's a
deal.
big deal.
Big
Nah.
deal.
You said it's not a big deal?
Why?
Because it's second all time. It's a
See?
huge deal.
So call me when you're first.
All right, but still.
Really?
I'm not even trying to be that guy, but I mean, seriously. I didn't know that Kareem was second all time in playoff scoring
But-
until
but
he
now-
passed LeBron,
but now
until
you
like this
know.
graphic came
But
up.
it's such a great feat that it's a big deal.
I mean, Kareem was like the granddaddy. Like,
It's a big deal because it's Kareem.
Right.
But not 2. But I agree. Like,
Is
number
it
one,
not
you
a big deal
win.
because it's LeBron though? Because it's like, all right, we expect LeBron. to reach
No,
these
I
certain
mean,
feats.
at a certain point, you've been making the postseason for, I want to say, 14 years straight, maybe
Right.
13 years straight. You've been in like 7 straight finals. I expect these records to fall. Like, if you're not, then you're just like a Robert Horry or something like that, where you're just on
Right.
the
At
bench
the
the
same
whole
time, we're
time.
watching history in the making. That's how I look at it. Like we shouldn't just watch it and just say, "Oh no, shrug it to the side."
And
Yeah.
the fact that he has so many consecutive playoff finals appearances, even that in itself is a big deal.
I think it speaks
for
to his
him.
greatness.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
LeBron James is the best basketball player on the planet.
Yeah.
And he's been showing you in the last 6 games, like all the stuff that you said for the 82 prior.
Yeah.
He's been showing you why you were wrong if you said anything but that. But I don't care that he's the number 2 scorer in this list.
Dang, you're a hard crowd. Raina, you say it's not a big deal as well?
I don't know. I mean, he's alright. I'm just kidding. But I like being no, but I think it's a big deal. I mean, cool, but it's just like number 1's better, obviously. So
That side of the table, they're haters.
Well, that's
over
coming
there.
soon. So
Right,
probably by
because
the end of this postseason.
211 points, I think. He's
And that we can
yeah.
agree that would be. A
Like I
big deal.
said,
That's
big deal or big deal. There we go.
Chat room, is it a big deal that LeBron has passed Kareem for the all-time playoff?
Second.
Or, well, he's passed Kareem for the
See,
second, yeah.
you even want it to be a big deal.
Right. Is it a
Demo says big deal.
Thanks, Demo.
Not exactly sure which part they were talking about. If it was for Twitter, but
She's talking about this.
LeBron.
Overarching, big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Big deal or not? Jay Cutler is toying with the idea of pursuing broadcasting career. Now, here's some insight. So,
stop, Josh.
Jay Cutler. Oh, we all hate Jay Cutler, right? Oh, we don't hate him.
I don't hate him, but I don't.
I'm kind of ambivalent on Jay
I
Cutler.
don't take
yeah.
him seriously. I hear his name. I'm just like, okay.
Raina, you hate him?
I like his wife.
Yeah, she's cute.
She's cute. She was on the Hills.
Yeah,
Kristen
yeah.
Cavallari.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
they're cute little couple.
She's on E! News, by the way. She's getting a hosting.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
You
she's
didn't see the little Instagram? She posted
with his
Yeah.
butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All up.
Oh yeah.
She's
All right.
covering red carpets and stuff for like E! News and like.
Does she-
big-
We
and
might
she
meet her
covered
then.
the
She
Met
might-
Gala
she
too.
Is she the one that has the clothing brand, or is that Lauren LC?
Lauren has a clothing brand, but Kristen has one as well.
Okay.
I watch the Hills.
What's Heidi up to?
They're
Plastic surgery.
pregnant.
Oh, Heidi-
Aren't they pregnant?
Is it still Heidi and Spencer? Is that
Yeah,
still the
they're-
thing?
they're still
Spidey?
together. Yeah.
Is this like Chinese to you?
You're right.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's so bad.
The Hills was my favorite show. Oh my gosh. I
That's
love them
okay. It's okay. It's okay. You didn't miss much. I promise.
I know I didn't.
Right. Some inside scoop, though. Inside scoop. Dun, dun, dun. Jay Cutler, of course, is now toying with the idea, but I have some intel that told me years ago, about 3 years ago actually, that he was trying to leave the NFL then to pursue a career in broadcasting.
that. An exclusive.
And so he was trying to leave the NFL a few years ago to pursue a career in broadcasting. And I think actually he came out to LA and auditioned, and networks were like, we're good on you, and then he went back. And I don't know if this is a contract year, an opt-out year. I'm not sure. I wish I could remember the year 2000. If I really think about it, I could come back and tell you. I want to say it's 2014.
Well, if you look at his play since 2012, it makes perfect sense.
Right. So he's had one foot out the door for at least 3 years. I can say definitively. I know from some
What makes
execs.
him think he can do TV? He doesn't have the personality for it at all.
Well, so he auditioned for, I want to say Fox Sports, and he was here about a week or two ago. And they need or are looking to fill an analyst who can talk NFC.
Well, they have to
particularly.
fill John Lynch's spot.
Right,
the
who
new
went
GM
to
for
San
the
Francisco.
49ers.
Yeah. So, and because I think Fox Sports has, most of the NFC championship, most of the NFC games, like they think that he would be a good asset because he's been in the NFC for the past 8 years.
He has no personality.
Okay.
I don't know. I
I
don't.
might.
No, seriously, the most, what's the lasting image of Jay Cutler is smokingjcutler.com.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
the site where the people put the cigarettes in his
that,
mouth on the
And I
sideline.
just think of him just standing on the sidelines at their NFC Championship game against Green Bay.
And there you go. And that's that. At least Tony Romo, you could see it in his post-game
yeah.
interviews. Like, he had a little charisma. He commanded the room.
Right.
Right.
Jay
He's
Cutler
always
just kind
smiling,
of.
like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jay Cutler
I
doesn't
agree.
seem like the type of guy that I really want to talk to.
So big
no
deal or
offense,
nah?
Jay.
He's not at all.
Not a big deal?
No, I mean this is Jay Cutler.
I say it's
Welcome
a
to
big
Black
deal.
Hollywood Live Sports Talk. Like that's how I could see him.
I think it's a big deal because he's pursuing it. Like I mean,
Right.
I don't know.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Like,
yeah.
that's a huge-
Go get your dream.
It's a huge step. I mean, you're not playing anymore. You're finding something else. I mean,
I don't know about that. I'm pursuing a six-pack.
Right.
And so, like, we're all working
dream
towards
on.
something.
I say it's a big deal. Oh, go ahead, chat room.
Yeah, chat room. Jay Cutler Demo, Jay Cutler needs to intern at BHL Sports Weekly. Y'all need to teach him how to be a host. He has no personality.
Thank you.
Right.
Big deal. Let LeBron stack up records for his Hall of Fame. Demo says Josh is like the Hills. What? Not surprised networks turn him down. He needs to take some classes ASAP. He would be like watching paint dry.
He would be,
Yeah.
but I still think it's a big deal because it just goes to show how if you are a name, no matter how talented or no matter your lack of talent, you can segue very easily into whatever you want to do next. I mean, I guess that's the nice thing about being an NFL quarterback. You can do what the hell you want to do whenever you get ready to do it.
Yeah.
I think it's a big
Even
deal.
if you're extremely unlikable.
Even if you're unlikable. But you know one thing we like to eat. And
Yum, yum.
we like food. We like Blue Apron. Hi guys, you guys know about Blue Apron. Mark, you know about Blue Apron?
I listen to podcasts that advertise for them all the time.
Well, here's another one. And this is light skin text. I gotta really try to. You see this? That's
So what we trying to say here?
I'm saying. I'm discriminating against this light skin text that I can't read. But that's okay.
So what are you trying to say, though?
I'm discriminating against the light
Blue
skin.
Apron's not going to like this live read.
Oh, just kidding. Oh my God, you're right about that. Okay, Blue Apron. We love Blue Apron. We love everything about Blue Apron. Blue Apron is the #1 fresh ingredient recipe delivery service in the country.
Yes.
We love it because Blue Apron's mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everyone. I mean, no matter your budget, you can definitely afford Blue Apron and on a budget, and it gives you healthy food. What's up, Raina? You have something to say? I thought you were looking at me. The featuring
food.
some of their featured upcoming meals are beef teriyaki stir fry with sugar snap peas and lime rice. That sounds really good. Someone was out there cooking that today. It smelled so good. They also have a baked spinach and egg flatbread dish with sautéed asparagus and lemon aioli. Also good.
Nice.
Okay. They have a crispy salmon and roasted potato salad dish with pickled mustard seeds and cream sauce. Okay. Featured meals.
Now I'm in. Before, without the cream sauce, I don't know, but now I'm in.
You like everything about it. We all love Blue Apron. We cook it every day before we start our show. Also, guys, these ingredients are not created equal to all other ingredients from other services because they're fresh, they're real, they're organic. You know where your food comes from, so you don't have to guess about whether it's safe to eat. Basically, it's safe to eat Blue Apron food. How do you get your Blue Apron meals? You go to blueapron.com/BHL Weekly, and that's how you get your first 3 meals for free. You go to blueapron.com/BHL Weekly to get your first 3 meals for free, and you also get free shipping. Accessible, affordable, tasty. Blue Apron, better way to cook. What's going on over there?
We're just like looking at Blue Aprons, like.
Oh.
It looks so good.
It is good. We eat it every day.
I cooked it before though. Actually, did I tell you guys?
Yeah, we
I
cooked
ordered
it one
it.
day. Yes, you did.
Yeah. Once I move into my new spot, I'm gonna order some Blue Apron and we can have some.
We actually do eat it here. That's not even a lie.
I know. We eat it.
No, I literally ordered.
I've seriously been going back and forth because to me the grocery store is like the 7th circle of hell.
I like going to the grocery store. I can't deny.
Why?
I
No.
love it.
Oh man, it's old people, there's screaming kids, there's lines.
it.
I don't know where anything is.
It's
the worst. I need a
my
map.
family that I made a meal from Blue Apron. I just like threw it. I was just like, hey, I just felt like cooking. It's
It was a
here.
Blue Apron.
Yeah, but they're like, yo, this is really good, Raina. Like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, it's just something I
Just
thought
something.
of.
Right
You know.
on.
You know.
And then I eventually told them the truth.
Right. But yeah, Blue Apron is definitely better than the grocery store. So just forget about the grocery store. Forget about those other places. Blue Apron. One-stop shop. Easy, accessible, affordable, healthy. Fair, foul, or can't call it. This is the part of the show where we talk about these topics, whether they're fair, foul, or can't call it. I'll take this one. The Fenway fan has been banned for life from the park for racial slurs. And apparently there was an incident Monday where that particular fan was banned. And there was another incident last night, Wednesday night, where another fan was calling the Kenyan singer who sang the national anthem the N-word. It was like, y'all, now let me tell you.
The crazy thing about this is when Adam Jones came out and said what he said.
Yes.
I saw a bunch of like sports guys from Boston on Twitter say, "I've been to Fenway Park for 20 years and I've
Get the
never
hell
once
out
heard
of
a
here.
racial slur." I'm like, come on.
The shocker.
Right, right.
Give me a fucking break. Are you serious? And now all of a sudden, basically every day since the incident, there's been something.
Right. So yeah, thank you for throwing Adam Jones' name in there. Adam
Yeah.
Jones is a player who alleged, which is not even alleged, he had racial slurs hurled at him Monday night, and the Red Sox president Sam Kennedy said that those slurs will not be tolerated, banned the fan for life, and has just taken a really definitive stance on having no tolerance for people calling people N-word. and other egregious slurs at Fenway. So is this fair, foul, or can't call it? Okay, so my question is this. Is it fair, foul, you can't call it, that this fan has been banned for life for this infraction?
I think it's absolutely fair.
Okay.
Because I think one thing that we've gotten away from in the actual live sporting event is like the quality of the event for the fan who's going there. Like we have players sitting in games and like just in general, like the price of the ticket doesn't qualify your time, or qualify your experience, but there should be a shift towards that. You should be able to take your kids. I should be able to go to a game as a 27-year-old adult and have a good time. You should be able to take your 7-year-old to the game, and he should be able to have a good time. And those two good times should be able to be in the circle of the Venn diagram, not on the outside.
Right.
So I absolutely think it's fair. And also, if you ever want to truly address racism and the things that come with it, there has to be some type of like actual levied punishment behind things like. Otherwise, you just have a warning or slap on the wrist. Nothing like this will ever happen.
Right. So fair, Raina, that
Fair,
he's banned for
absolutely.
life. Fair, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've heard some podcasters and other analysts say that they agree with the ban, but that they didn't agree with it being a lifetime
Life
ban.
is harsh, but
Life is harsh. I think I'm gonna.
What? Speak your mind.
Life is harsh to be banned for using the N-word, because let me say this. I applaud Sam Kennedy for taking a stance and saying that this will not be tolerated. I think it sets a precedent that, you can't do this. So no one else is going to try this. But I think that you lose an opportunity to have a teachable moment where, let's say, banned for a year, and then in a year the fan could come back and be involved in the PSA and talk about how his life has changed. I mean, I know it sounds sad.
Was
but look,
he also throwing like?
and he was throwing nuts.
Yeah. So
And I'm not saying
Those are two separate incidences.
I thought the nuts and the
thought
N-word was
same
the same
time.
guy.
Yeah, but the guy who got banned was the guy who called the singer on Wednesday.
See, I thought the guy
so
who got
Adam Jones,
Yeah.
Was
and,
Monday.
and the Peanuts were Monday.
Right.
The singer was Wednesday.
Was Wednesday. So the singer
fan.
offense, defendant, whatever you want to call him, is the one who got banned, not the Monday night person.
Not to my knowledge.
But isn't this already teaching a lesson? Like, you're teaching a lesson to your fan base, like, this is not going to be tolerated. You're using this guy as an example to say, look what will happen to you if you use this word at our games. This culture is not going to be tolerated.
It is. And listen.
And it's unfortunate for the guy who's banned for life.
Right. And I have
No,
no.
it's not unfortunate for the guy who's banned for life. How is it unfortunate for the guy who's banned for life? He did something to get banned.
I don't mean that.
But for life, though.
It's unfortunate to Adam Jones. It's unfortunate to the singer. It's unfortunate to the people in the section that heard him
What I'm
saying
saying
that.
is that a lifetime ban is like freaking serious.
That's
I'm not
serious.
disagreeing with the ban.
Going to Red Sox baseball games going to any sporting event is a privilege. It's not a right. He's not losing his driver's license or the ability to vote.
That's like to me, it's like you were doing 100 in a school zone and you're going to prison for 30 years for that. That's kind of me. That's a very far-reaching analogy. But again, I'm the blackest person in the room.
Do you think it's too strict? Do you think it's too strict?
I think a lifetime ban might be a can't call it for me.
No, that's absolutely fair. That's a home run.
I mean, the offender definitely needed to be banned. I don't know if I agree.
With a lifetime.
How
old is the offender? Does anybody know?
I don't care. He could be 12. Seriously, I don't care.
Right.
Something has to be done, because this is not a unique experience, and
It's
you see
not.
different things. Like you see different players. This happens to all the time.
Yeah.
Especially in baseball. Like you see the outcry of
And in
all
soccer
the.
recently too, and Draymond Green says he gets called the N-word all the time.
I mean,
And Cece's been saying that too. He said
It's
that
like
you expect that.
CeCe Sabathia,
yeah.
especially other 60 black baseball
Yeah.
players.
Right.
If 10 of them are saying it, that's a huge percentage.
Yeah.
Chat room, are they saying this is fair, foul, or can't call? Ooh.
Okay, so we have Mr. Eggman says fair. Bye bye now. You can hate from outside the club because
Okay.
you can't even get in.
Hey, Regman.
Demos is fair. Unacceptable behavior. Fans feel like they have a right to verbally abuse players because they paid for their ticket,
True.
which is wrong.
True.
PSA in a year, that fan wouldn't be sincere in that ad.
Right.
in that ad
That
at
was
all.
my point to you, Erica.
We have a
He wasn't
new.
be sincere.
Yeah.
We have someone new actually.
hey.
Rashika Gordon.
Hey,
What
Chica.
up?
Hey, welcome. Unfortunately, I wish we can ban all fans for racial incidents because football, soccer games are the worst because some do monkey noises, throw bananas, and say the
They
N-word.
do.
Yeah.
I
But
don't know. I just
It definitely goes back to what Demo said was right. Fans buy a ticket and think they have the right to say whatever they want.
Right.
okay. So what happens when? Like the basketball coach's wife earlier in the season? I can't. Wichita State, whatever. But she was like super drunk, and she wasn't yelling racial slurs, but she was drunk, and she was yelling at the refs, and she was being way out of line. Now, of course, racial slurs are a lot different than saying "ref, you suck," but there's a lot of offensive language that borders on you can be kicked out. I just think it becomes a slippery slope when you kick somebody out.
But I think you said it right there. There's a big difference between
There is.
that and saying "ref, you suck." If you're using any type of profanity, any type of racial slur,
what about,
that's not accepted.
What
here.
about "ref, you effing suck"?
What about calling the ref a zebra?
That
See?
could be discriminatory.
I would go with that.
It's based on race and his colors, right? The colors he's wearing.
Right, there you go. Or what if the ref was
I think this
biracial?
is definitely foul. Like as far as like you should not be saying that shit. But if you got the balls to stand up in an arena and shout some shit like that, you're gonna get dealt with. That's how I think.
Jimbo
Like
in the
there's gotta
booth.
be people around you that are like, okay, I'll see this
But
guy outside.
I hear that from whoever that voice
That's Jimbo in the
is.
booth.
What's the guy? What's the guy?
But I don't think that's necessarily the case because if what he just said is true, that there are people who are checking these fans when it's happening, then how are there so many reports of it happening?
And I agree with you. And from a personal standpoint, I was at a bar about a month and a half ago, and this guy was talking about this a makeup commercial, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, I respect all people," but then got upset because on the makeup commercial you couldn't tell if the star, the lead in the commercial was a man or a woman. He or she was very androgynous. I'm like, how can you in one breath say that all people deserve respect and then say that you don't like this commercial because this character in the commercial is androgynous? And he went on to say, oh, if my 5-year-old niece was watching that, my 5-year-old nephew was watching that, he wouldn't be able to tell if that was a girl or a guy. I have a problem with that. So we got into a huge fight. And so I'm saying all that to say, I will fight you in a bar for being discriminatory against LGBTQ, against white, black, whatever. So it amazes me that people are in stands at games and allowing other fans to throw peanuts and bananas and not dealing with them. Like, who the hell are you coward ass people who are not confronting these racist fans?
Well, maybe the Band for Life saved his ass then, and we don't have a Dodgers situation where some dude gets his ass beat so bad he ends up dead. You know? Like maybe that was for his best benefit
That's
for
a good
everyone
point,
in the
too.
park.
God's always working.
That's okay.
Demo says, yes, Jimbo stating facts.
Jimbo in the booth.
Jimbo in the booth.
Jimbo in the booth, you got a shout out from the chat room.
And you can follow him at Jimbo in the booth on Twitter and on Instagram.
Right.
Thanks, buddy.
You're on.
Fair foul, can't call it. Doc Rivers will not commit to saying whether or not he thinks the Clippers core is done. So basically, he's been doing his little posthumous postseason career interviews, and he sounds pitiful, as he should.
You think he sounds pitiful?
I think he sounds like he's.
I haven't listened to a single Doc Rivers postgame interview.
He sounds,
been
as
overrated.
someone on ESPN today said, non-committal. Like he will not say definitively if he thinks that the core is going to stay together. And he has also said that this is going to be a wild off season. And he's also said that he thinks that these guys deserve to see their legacy through. But he won't say, he will not say if he's going to pursue keeping them together, and he won't say if he thinks that they're going to each opt out. But he did say that he thinks that they deserve to see their legacy through together because that's how they started.
Clipper fan, you want to take it away?
Fair foul, can't call it. I'm going to say, I was talking all that trash.
That game was so funny just because of you.
I was talking all that trash on Twitter. And I was so sure before postseason started and throughout postseason, throughout our little 7 games that we play every postseason, that they needed to blow it up. But I was reading and trying to understand the new CBA, and correct me if I'm wrong, whoever knows the details, but under the new CBA, if you stay with your current team, you're guaranteed basically hundreds or at least tens of millions of more dollars than you would get if you went to a Spurs or another team. So, like Russell Westbrook is going to be due.
Chris Paul can make more money with the Clippers over the next 5 years than he can make anywhere else.
Anywhere else, and so can Blake, and I think DJ can too. JJ is a non-MFing factor to me, but probably him too. So those 3 could go other places, but they would take cuts. Okay, so I do want to say this. Even though the Clippers suck in postseason, if you really look at it statistically, analytically, on paper, they're probably the 5th best team in the NBA.
In the NBA?
And the NBA!
Isn't there 6 teams right now still playing?
But, okay, look, so you got the Warriors,
Yes.
the Cavs,
Yes.
the Rockets.
Yes. Spurs.
I don't think the Spurs are really better than the Clippers. I do not think the Spurs are better than the Clippers. The Spurs are not better than a healthy Clippers team.
But
Y'all just talk shit about Danny Green, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Tony Parker being 45 years old, and now y'all want to come back and tell me that they're better than Clippers? Get the hell out of here.
To combat with Austin Rivers, J.J. Redick, and Jamal Crawford.
Yeah. Right.
Oh my
and
God.
Luke Mbamute.
But what about CP and Blake and DJ when they're healthy? I'm sorry, the Spurs are not a better team than a healthy Clippers team. They're
The Clippers
not.
haven't been healthy since 2011.
But the Clippers own the Spurs regular season and in postseason for the past 2 years, so what is that?
Irrelevant.
Like I said,
The Spurs won 61 games this year, Erica.
Like, in that time period?
I put Boston in front of them.
I wouldn't. I would not. Okay, so let me make my point. So I think, and this is not even being a delusional Clippers fan, I really think that a healthy Clippers team is the 5th best team in the NBA. Sorry, not
Ceiling.
sorry.
That's their ceiling.
Being the 5th best team in the NBA?
Their ceiling.
Yo, but you're again, I said statistically, analytically, and on paper, when they are healthy, I think the Clippers. Anyway, so my point is that why would you go to a Celtics team and have to compete with LeBron in the East? Why would you go to a Spurs team and have to compete with the Rockets or with the Warriors? Like, there's nowhere else for CP, Blake, and DJ to go make that kind of money and get out of the West. Like,
I think if CP3 goes to the Spurs, I think that makes them
a lot.
a contender. You have CP3, you have Aldridge, and you have Kawhi on the same.
But you just shitted on LaMarcus Aldridge 17 minutes ago.
But when he's a hell of a third option.
Get out of here.
I'm shitting him as a second option. Someone needs to step up, but as your third option, I'll take LaMarcus Aldridge all day.
So now,
there was an argument he was a top 15 player in the league.
There was an argument, but we just all agreed that he left Portland.
That argument's closed.
And now he looks a lot less than we thought he was going to be.
But as your third player, I will take him. I will absolutely take LaMarcus Aldridge as my third player.
I still say.
Am I wrong? Do you disagree?
No, I would take LaMarcus Aldridge as third option. I don't know how he would feel about being a third option. So that might be might be contentious.
And then you never know who you pick up in free agency. A lot of people want to play for Pop. And then Pop knows his system. He picks the right people for his system. He doesn't pick low IQ players. He picks players who move the basketball and can fit into his system. So I have complete confidence in the Spurs organization to fill out that roster.
I say, considering that CP would have to take a pay cut, or at least a pay cut versus what he could make with the Clippers.
Right.
You don't have enough guarantee. Like KD chasing a ring to the Warriors, I get that. You don't, like, if you chase a ring to go to the Spurs, like, I don't get that. To take the pay cut and to go to the Spurs, and you still got to compete with the Rockets and at least the Warriors in the West, I wouldn't do it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mario.
No, I just think it's kind of funny that Doc Rivers won't commit to either way, because he can't really do it.
Right.
Like, he can't say we're going to keep this group together. Right. Because then everybody says, well, you haven't made it to the Western Conference Finals ever. Yeah. Like, you have the most winningest, losingest point guard ever in Chris Paul. Like, and if he says he blows it up, then he admits, I haven't been the GM that I should have been.
Exactly.
That's true.
That's exactly what it is.
I haven't been a good enough GM because, you're right. A healthy Clippers team is the 5th best team in the NBA. I'll allow that. But, like, it doesn't matter because the 5th best team in the NBA has no shot at winning a title.
Right.
But either way, like, when people go down, you're the GM. You're supposed to have these 20-game replacement players who can come in and fill in spots.
Right.
So I guess I don't know whether it's fair, foul, or I can't call it.
He knows it's over. He just can't say it's over because it's an indictment on himself.
Yeah.
Raina, what you got? Fair, foul, can't call it?
I'm going to just say can't call it.
Can't call it.
But we have a couple comments in the chat
Y'all
room.
going to try to jump on me because I said that they're the 5th best team in the NBA?
I would nuclear bomb this thing up.
Yeah. Foul. Doc needs to go. He has failed as a GM and a coach.
He has failed as a GM.
Clippers over Spurs. Erica, be realistic.
Oh my God! Check the record. Check the the record.
What's the record of Western Conference Finals in the last 10 years between the two?
The Clippers have never made the Western Conference Finals. But I'm still saying they are a healthy Clippers team. They're still better than the Spurs. Like, point blank. Period. They are. I don't know.
I disagree.
The ceiling is the roof. That's what Gamer Girl said. Blow up the Clippers. They have been together for years and haven't even made it to a conference finals. Time to do something new. This current team won't ever work. Sorry, Erica. Doc and Phil has to go ruining franchises.
What do you think about trying to get on Paul George? Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's fine. I was just reading. Go ahead.
I like the idea of getting Paul George, but I don't like the idea of getting Paul George and, like you said, getting rid of Blake, because the 3 is where we've been weak for the past 5 years. Like, Matt Barnes was awful at the 3. Bamute sucks at the 3. Whoever else has played at the 3. Like, I think you can't get the strength at the 3 in a PG and then lose Blake.
Okay. What do you think?
I'd say take PG.
I'd say out of 3 people in Clippers, Chris Paul, Doc Rivers, Blake Griffin. Yeah. Out of those 3, Chris Paul's the one that's got to go.
Really?
Yeah, because
I'll say Doc.
I mean, that $210 million deal he's up for. He's 32 years old. The last 3 years of that deal are going to be real ugly, like baseball contract ugly.
Damn. We got to do in case you missed it. In case you missed it, real fast.
You know what it's going to be.
You got to run through in case you missed it.
Okay, in case you missed it, former Portland Trailblazer Brandon Roy shot in the leg protecting children in LA. Gunfire. He was visiting some family. It's freaking ridiculous, but we can get into that later.
Stop shooting up the people and the kids.
Sick. Kobe launches the Mamba League.
That's cool.
That is
cool.
And
he says that, remember we talked about the AE ball and how it's like so different now? He's going to be focusing on more fundamentals.
Good for him.
Because of how he grew up playing in Italy. He was taught basic fundamentals. So he's launching the Mamba League.
Maybe how to score 50 on 62 shots.
Yep.
Skylar Diggins.
She's so pretty.
Oh, she's married.
Yeah,
she's
sweetheart.
so pretty.
That was everyone's bag.
That hit you in a certain spot, didn't it?
She's so cute.
I know a lot of men right now who are sad.
Yeah. Good job, just honor Vin Scully.
Yeah, good job, Vin Scully. People miss. I don't watch other baseball like that, so.
Charlie.
Hey,
and that's our baseball talk for the day.
That is. Martin, thank you for hanging with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Any fun projects you're working on that you want to talk about?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
Nothing I want to release or say out loud.
Okay. Will you come back
Still working on some things.
Hang out with us again?
Absolutely.
All right, great.
If I'm invited.
If you're invited.
You definitely will be invited.
Chat room, anything y'all want to say before we go?
33-13 Warriors, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Melo
Why are we
cares
doing
about
this?
scoring and money, not winning.
Guys, Sports Weekly, every Thursday night, 7 o'clock. I don't care if y'all hate my Clippers or whatever. I'm a true fan. Erica Renee Davis. You can find me on Instagram, Insta Story, and on Twitter at Erica Renee D.
I'm Josh Rodriguez. Twitter and Instagram, Josh_Rodriguez_. Knicks are the 5th best team in the league.
Ooh, please.
That hot take threw me all the way off. I'm Martin Weiss, _Martin Weiss on everything, and I got nothing. Knicks 5th best team in the league, really? Maybe in 2009.
Not even.
Right.
I'm just being funny.
And I'm Raina. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Raina_LA. WNBA season officially starts May 13th.
Let's go,
Shout
Liberty.
out to Chelsea, who's back in the States. Sparks have their first preseason game on Saturday.
As always, follow all things Black Hollywood Live on BlackHollywoodLive.com. Follow us on Twitter at BHL Online. Follow us on Instagram at BHL Sports Weekly. Want to let you guys know I'm a new Aussie Rules fan, so follow me this weekend. I'm tweeting about Aussie Rules. I know nothing about it, but I'm a new fan.
Cool.
Bound by Blues, my new team. Every Thursday night, 7 o'clock, your favorite sports squad. Till next week, eat Blue Apron and see you.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.